Welcome to the Nightly Rant. I'm Mike.
And I'm Torya.
This is the show where we talk about the awful things that have happened in our day, the awesome things that have happened in our day,
and all the things in between.
Thanks for listening, and we truly hope you enjoy. So, another super duper crazy day.
It was
today.
Less crazy than yesterday, but still pretty crazy.
I know it's interesting, though, how lately the days just kind of become a blur and they blend one into another.
I think that's what happens when you have way too much to do.
Yeah, but do you know that today is only the second day in like a month that I do not have late overdue tasks?
I still have the same late overdue task that I still haven't done because I didn't have time today. But I'm now less annoyed by
the social media management sheet.
Yeah, we talked about it last night.
Yeah, that's why I figured it had to be the same thing.
At least I no longer lack the motivation to do it. Now I just didn't have time, and probably will have time to do it this weekend, so that'll get done. I don't have to look at it anymore.
Well, it's going to be an interesting couple months because we have to focus on our strategies for our business, but we also have to focus on getting me elected.
Right. Well, figure it out.
Tomorrow is going to be the mad dash from hell, running around everywhere.
Yeah, you're going to have one of those days.
Have to collect 40 signatures tomorrow.
You know what? I'm going to, as soon, like the content I made today, as soon as you're done with what you need to do on Friday, it's going full steam ahead.
So, today,
we
had to go to Petco.
Petco? I like Petco.
And
what were we doing at Petco?
We were picking up a new hermit crab for the zoo because another hermit crab was deceased.
And hermit crabs will die if they're lonely.
They don't like to be left alone. So we had
to get him a friend.
Order him up a second one. So we did. But I noticed that some dingus hit the passenger side mirror on my car and actually cracked the casing on that mirror.
Yeah, like what a dickus. Who does that? Why do people hit shit and then not say anything?
No note, no nothing. Just hit and run.
Like, even if they didn't leave their insurance information, at least they could leave a note like, "Hi, I'm a dickhead, I hit your car."
Or something like that. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't grasp it even a little bit.
Seems that people lack common courtesy.
It's the second time it's happened with this car, too.
I know, because when we were at McDonald's, some dickus backed into your bumper.
And that would actually be the third time it's happened.
Oh, I don't know what the first time was then.
First time is if you've ever looked at my left rear, what do you call that? The reflector is cracked and missing a piece. That's because I had the car for all of 2 weeks and someone backed into it and drove off and didn't say anything. But why is it so difficult to handle something like that? Is it because people try to rip people off when they make mistakes? Or is it that people are just cheap and don't want to pay for the damage that they do?
I think people are cheap. People are afraid that their insurance costs will go up. People are dicks.
So they lack ethics.
Yes. People also are like, that's not my car. Why the hell do I care if it got dented?
Well, and there's a popular saying that character is who you are when nobody is looking.
Right.
So that means that these people lack character as well. That almost makes them beyond repair.
Well, yeah, because once you don't have character, what do you have left?
Exactly. It borders on insane.
Like sitting in a padded cell insane? Or
well,
just like mass murder insane?
I have car insurance for a reason.
Right.
So if I were to hit somebody and cause damage, I would leave a note.
Right.
And that's because I always expect people to act in a similar fashion to the way that I act.
But people don't.
Because I'm always trying to make sure that I'm not infringing upon other people's rights. And I feel like hitting my car and damaging it and not leaving a note to help me make it whole again.
Infringed on your rights.
Infringed upon my rights. I mean, if someone were to carefully inspect that car and find that, it would lower the value of my vehicle.
Right. And now the mirror one is actually quite prominent.
Yeah, it makes me nervous that I'm going to have to replace that part myself. And that's not a cheap part to replace.
You replace the whole mirror casing.
And you know what else where my brain goes?
What?
What if it happened when it was at the Ford dealer?
Then they're unethical pricks?
But it doesn't surprise me. That's the scary part.
I know, with the issues you've had at the Ford dealership, it wouldn't even be 1% surprising if they're the ones who destroyed your car.
No, they try to just screw you over at every step of the way.
Well, and they've tried to screw you over multiple times. Not just once. And it wasn't a misunderstanding. They've tried to screw you more than one time. And gotten caught.
True. That is true.
And then, but the thing is, it's just as likely it happened in the same parking lot as the last one. It happened in the McDonald's parking lot. Your mirror got bumped and somebody was just too much of a jack of all asses to let you know.
It's just as possible. That is correct.
And you wouldn't have noticed because you never go to that side of your car.
Right.
And I'm not observant enough to notice a crack in a mirror.
Not about something like that, you're not. You're right about that. Most things you are. That you're not. But then that's one of the things that has me concerned about this signature collecting tomorrow is, first of all, that voter data is a massive, giant
mess.
Pain in the butt to try to find things. Thankfully, I know how to use Excel, so I highlighted the last name field and started searching. But you try looking up Amy Martin. There's 400 million Martins. There's another 400 million Martinez's. There's 400 million Martins with an S. There's Martins with a Z. There's Martine. There's Martines. Trying to find that with just a last name is impossible. And I have zero clue how to search 2 columns at a time in Excel.
Is it not in alphabetical order?
No, it's not.
Couldn't you sort it?
I suppose I could.
Because if it was in alphabetical order, then you'd know approximately where in the list of Martins or Martins.
Well, no, because I could sort it by
Amy
last
would
name
be.
and first name, and then it would sort on the last name first and the first name last, and then that would be all the A Martins would be at the top, and it'd be easy to find.
Which is exactly
so far,
what I
everybody
said.
that I've looked up and been able to find is good.
Oh, there was people you couldn't find?
Yes. And that concerns me because they may not be good.
Right.
And I have got to get 20 good signatures.
Right.
And I would really be pissed if I spent $1,600 on a filing fee. Granted, it was a donation. But if I spent $1,600 on a filing fee that I can't get back and I don't make it because of some signatures, that's going to piss me off.
Right. I agree.
I almost feel like we're facing the biggest battle of the whole campaign right now. Like, if we win this battle, we can do anything.
It's probably true.
That's how I feel.
And I don't think we'll have any trouble winning this battle.
And then you gave me that list of articles, and it just kind of enraged me reading some of the things that I read. Like,
should I have waited
like
till
my
tomorrow?
my buddy, Todd.
Oh, I thought you'd like that one.
Spitzer. And he's claiming what wonderful work they've done. My favorite, though, was at the very beginning, the first sentence of the article, and it was an Orange County Register article that said, it took a federal judge to show the Orange County supervisors how to do their job. I agree with that statement. And it's sad.
It is sad.
Why it required a judge stepping in is beyond me. And then even the one about and I'm going to reach out to these people in Irvine, the group that's getting together, to united to deal with this issue.
Yeah.
Why is that necessary?
Because the Board of Supervisors doesn't do anything.
And like it says in the article, there's far too much money being spent, both private and public, but it's not a focused effort. It's like we've talked about many, many times. You've got a million places like alfresco gardens,
right,
that exist in the county. And they all want to help the homeless.
Right.
But the problem is, if this place only has $50,000 and this place has $30,000, for $80,000 you could get some stuff done. But for $50,000 and $30,000 you can't.
Right.
And that's the problem.
And nobody's putting these people together.
They've diluted the money and there's nobody putting them together. And see, my libertarian beliefs tell me that the best way to solve the whole problem is through private charities. Because private charities are going to work hard to make sure that they raise enough money to help these people. And they're not going to have that corruption that goes along with government dealing with it.
Right. And I feel like it's right that private charities should be dealing with this. But then on the same note, I feel like private charities lack the leadership to actually make something happen.
Are you trying to say that the Board of Supervisors actually has even one leader on it?
No, I'm not. I think they lack the leadership to pull their own head out of their ass.
I wouldn't disagree with that comment. How about that article that said the state of California needs to get involved in the homeless issue? It needs to be a statewide program.
I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Where have you heard that before?
You.
Yeah. And we went, and what's concerning is we went to that meeting in Anaheim and they had the city of Anaheim, the county of Orange, the state of California, and the federal U.S. government. Not a single one of those four was in alignment.
Right.
That's scary.
The different levels of government have no communication lines.
It's scary how bad it is. And this is what we depend upon in this country. And people wonder why libertarians want less government.
I thought when you brought up the article about Spitzer, you were talking about the one where he arrested somebody in IHOP.
That was actually a Wahoo's.
Sorry, Wahoo's. There was another one about Todd Spitzer and IHOP, but I can't remember what it was.
But you missed the best part about that story. Number one, this is the best part. This is why I say the guy is a real idiot and a liability. Number one, the dude was at a Wahoo's Fish Tacos.
Yes.
There was another dude who was a pastor of a church who had no clue who Spitzer was. He proceeds to start spreading the gospel to Spitzer. Spitzer gets angry and goes to his car to retrieve his concealed weapon that he's allowed to have. He then brings the concealed weapon into said Wahoo's Fish Tacos and makes a citizen's arrest on said pastor.
Can't you citizens arrest somebody, I don't know, without your concealed weapon?
Yes, you could. Now you fast forward, and newspapers asked the county, under the Public Information Act, they asked the county for the documentation about that whole situation. And of course, because one of the supervisors was involved, they said no. And they got sued. And they lost. And the county had to pay Voice of OC over $150,000 because they refused to release documents about a guy who was a complete bozo and caused problems. And let's not forget, that guy wants to be the district attorney of Orange County.
No, if that doesn't just rotten fish smell of corruption, I don't know what does.
Well, and then they talk about the shadow government in Orange County.
Oh, I knew you'd like some of those
and
articles.
And how there's no transparency. And that's a huge problem.
Yep.
It's a huge problem.
Yep.
And see, that's the thing. That needs to be addressed.
Right. I don't understand. I found as many articles as I could about how they're cutting the speaking time and they're being unethical. They're replacing board members on this board with themselves so that they have the majority control over this board. Unethical. They're doing this, which is unethical. Are any of the 5 of them not a moron? An unethical moron?
Well, okay. We just had a scenario where Michelle Steele spent money to send out mailers, 16,000 of them, to a campaign event that could only house 50 people.
Right.
She used county funds for that.
Right.
They then had a motion introduced to change the rules around doing that. Seems like a no-brainer, right? It lost 3 votes to 2.
Bet you I could tell you which 3 voted no.
Well, first off, she should have recused herself from that vote, period.
Right.
Shouldn't have been involved. That's just wrong.
That isn't something the Board of Supervisors should be voting on. That is something that the Board of Supervisors' bosses should be deciding.
Well, that's the problem. We're their boss.
Exactly.
But there is higher level of government called the state of California, and maybe they need to pass some regulations about this issue.
I feel like there needs to be something policing the county government and not just letting them run amok and do whatever they want.
And you know, it's funny because now I see there's only 2 opponents in this election. The supervisor who's already in the seat. I personally think she's weak and an easy target. I mean, look at what the editor of the Voice of OC said. Quote, "The only thing I've ever seen Michelle Steele do on her own was clear a room. Period."
I laughed so hard when I read that.
And this is a guy whose job it is to cover the government in Orange County as a member of the press.
He's funny. Like, the sass is real with that guy.
But that's his job, to cover them. So clearly he spent a lot of time watching, and he's claiming that the only thing he's ever seen her do on her own is clear a room. And she did so because someone challenged her on what the board was doing about homelessness.
Now, did you see her clearing that room led to threats of her being tasered?
Not
like
her being tasered.
The board being?
No. Muhammad Ali, the guy that's the homeless advocate.
What was that what it said?
He challenged her, and she ordered the room cleared. Uh-huh. He refused to leave. The Orange County Sheriff told him he needed to leave. He wouldn't leave. So they told him if he didn't leave, they would taser him.
Oh, clearly I read too many articles and forgot what was going on.
Hey, you're jumbling up your facts.
Just ridiculous.
But thank you, because it gives the audience a chance to see that I actually do know my facts.
Just ridiculous. There was so much ridiculous in those articles I found. And let's be real, when I searched Orange County supervisors on Google News, I only went back 2 pages and I found all of that.
How do we taunt her into a debate? If we could taunt her into a debate, I would eat her for lunch.
I would tell you, but last time I said it, you edited it out of the podcast.
That's not going to taunt her into a debate. The only way to taunt a person like that into a debate is not to talk about what they eat. It's to talk about things that they think they're good at and show them that they're not good at it. Because then they're going to want to prove that they're good at it.
I think if you assaulted the fact that she called herself a taxpayer's advocate, but then sent 16,000 mailers out to taxpayers, that might entice her to defend herself. I think that's the thing you should attack, because even on her website, that's what her platform was for running for supervisor the first time around. Taxpayers advocate.
I have a more bold plan than that.
Okay.
How about I send a press release to the editor of the Orange County Register and the
Voice of
guy
OC
that covers this area in the Orange County Register and the Voice of OC, announcing the other letter that I'm going to send. And the other letter is going to be to Michelle Steele's office, challenging her to a debate.
Oh, that works.
Do you think if I just send her a letter challenging her to a debate, she'll ignore me. But if I send her a letter challenging her to a debate and then send a copy of the letter with a press release to the press, who might just publish it, first of all, even if there's no debate, what happens?
The media knows about it.
Who else knows about it?
The people, if the media publishes it.
Exactly. So the real goal would be to get it published. Name recognition.
There are more places you could send it than just the Register and the Voice of OC.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Sure. I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and bore everybody by listing every possible place we could send it. But yeah, of course there's more places.
Just wanted you to know.
And the point, though, is back them into a corner. If she accepts the debate, I would destroy her. She doesn't know her facts. But if she doesn't accept the debate, I still destroy her, because then I go to the media again and go, can you believe she wouldn't debate me?
Well, and you got really friendly with the reporter for this area from the Register.
Can you believe she wouldn't debate me? That's what I could say over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
That's a win-win for me. And
do it.
Yes, my strategy is to be way more aggressive, because let's face it, she's got way more money to spend.
Because in reality, she should view you as nothing.
And I'm
she
sure
has
she
all
does.
this money. She thinks she's the Pope of Orange County. She should view you as nothing. So what would it hurt her to debate you?
Exactly. She should be able to chew me up and spit me out. But she can't.
Well, she doesn't know that yet. She learns that after the debate. Maybe.
I have a sneaking suspicion she's aware of this campaign. I have been rather vocal, on purpose, by the way, on the Orange County Register's Facebook page. On every article they post about homelessness or the county supervisors, and I publish those as my election page, because I want people to know about me, and I want her to know about me. And at this point, she knows about me, because you don't think she can go on ocvote.com and look up exactly what I looked up?
To be honest with you, I think she's too pretentious to have known about you before that. Yes.
Isn't it funny that the person with the most money, though, came into the race last and then just paid for everything that was done? It's kind of sick. Of
course. That's what you expected.
But then let me ask you a question. I wonder how much taxpayer dollars was spent preparing her signatures and preparing the check to pay her filing fees. I mean...
Well, who pays for her office staff?
Do you think maybe her office staff handled some of that?
That's what I was going to get at. Who pays for her office staff? If the county pays for her office staff, then I would think all of the time spent preparing her campaign was prepared on the county dime.
Yeah. That kind of person is absolutely just as unethical as the person who hits your car and doesn't leave a note.
Yeah.
I mean, but we've got a board that's been called lacking in vision, poor leadership, incompetent, impotent. I agree with impotent. They can't make a decision if their life depended on it. We just said a judge had to step in order for them to solve a problem.
They've done nothing in the entire year that we've been paying attention to them. Absolutely nothing has been done. They've had all these big votes that were like a massive uproar. Oh my God, they're voting on this thing. They can't even accomplish that.
Yeah.
They either push it back or it gets voted no because they didn't bother to do any diligence to make sure whatever it is would pass.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of clueless to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Which is sad. My phone is making sounds. Those are good things, because I reached out to a lot of people on Facebook and via text to get these signatures. So I apologize if you're picking it up, but I purposely left the sound on so I could hear and deal with those situations. So the moral of the story is, we don't like people without character.
Exactly.
The moral of the story is, we don't like people with bad character.
Exactly. People with bad character, send us an email. I have a present for you.
info@yogispodcastnetwork.com. And since I got chastised for spelling it last night, I won't spell it.
I didn't chastise you.
Do you know that I did not even notice it during the podcast, but when I was editing it, I caught what you said?
What did I say?
Now that the spelling bee is over,
I didn't chastise you for
take your spelling bee and stick it up your butt.
I chastised you for how slowly you spelled it.
Well, what should I do? Spell it quickly and slur my words and letters so that no one can
funny.
understand a damn thing I'm saying? Anyway, I think we're going to have our work cut out for us on many different levels, but it's a David versus Goliath situation. We're going to use that metaphor over and over and over and over and over. And I'm going to use this platform to deal with this on a regular basis.
Supervisor Saturday!
I also think I'm going to start recording audio messages and putting them up on my Facebook page and my website.
And Twitter.
I started using that Hear Me Out.
Yeah.
And it will publish to Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Oh, if you publish it on your Facebook page, don't also publish it to Twitter. Your Facebook page automatically publishes to Twitter.
I can't publish it to my page, I don't think. I guess I could because it opens up a post. And then I have to...
Mm-hmm. It's the same way as you share things.
Navigate. I shared something yesterday to my personal Instagram.
Cool.
We're gonna push the next few days.
Yep.
Really hard.
Yep. It's gonna be good.
And then the weekend will be here and we can I'm excited for my 35th year reunion. 35 years. Oh my God.
Huh. It might be interesting. Anyway, good night, everyone.
Hasta la bye-bye. Hi, everyone. This is Mike, and I truly hope you enjoyed this show. You're able to subscribe to this show on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher so as to never miss an episode. If, by chance, you did miss an episode here or there, you can catch up on all shows, past and present, by heading over to yogispodcastnetwork.com/TNR show. Thanks for listening.